Okay, good afternoon po sa ating lahat. Bago po tayo mag-start, let us pray po. Let us remember that we are in the most holy presence of God, in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Let me be the change to see, to do with strength and wisdom all that needs to be done, and become the hope that I can be. Set me free from fears and hesitation. Granting courage and with spirit to face the challenge. Start the change long to see. Today I start the change I want to see. Even if I'm not the light, I can be the spark. In faith, service, and union, let us start the change we want to see. The change that begins in me. Today I start the change I want to see. Even if I'm not the light, I need a spark. Faith, service, and communion. Let us start the change we want to see. The change that begins in me. Jesus in
Saint John Baptist de La Salle, pray for us. Leave Jesus in our hearts forever. Ayan, good afternoon po ulit sa ating lahat. I'm Jessa, support staff of monitoring unit of CDLM. Nag-organize po kami dito sa CDLM ng mentoring and coaching session led by our director, Dr. Roda Sanares. Ang title po ng session natin ngayon is Beyond the Screen, Ensuring Quality Digital Learning. In this session, itatakil natin kung ano-ano nga ba yung sinecheck ng mentoring team during weeks 7 to 9 and week 16 to 18. Nag-prepare din po kami ng mga sample at references para mas madaling malinaw ang ating discussion at syempre para mas makatulong po sa inyo sa paggamit ng school book. Para po sa inyong reference, ilalagay ko po sa chat box ang monitoring tool. So we can encourage everyone to actively listen, take notes, and participate later during the open forum. Kung may mga question na rin po kayo, feel free to ask po sa ating chat box. Okay, handa na po ba tayo? Ngayong hapon na ito, pinapakilala ko po sa inyo ang ating speaker. Siya po ang mag-share sa atin ng insight na makakatulong para mas maintindihan natin kung paano mag-set up ng digital learning sa school book. The monitoring supervisor, Ms. Maria Lourdes Cervania. Bigyan po natin ng virtual clap si ma'am.
Thank you, Jessa. Good afternoon, everyone. Today's agenda is the monitoring and the monitoring tool. Okay. So, para po sa mga dati ng faculty, sa mga ang tawag to, full-time faculty, hindi na po bago yung SP monitoring kasi we have been using this for ano pa? having this for mga 5 years na. Okay, so basically ito po ay para sa mga newly hired faculty and syempre yung mga gusto pong mag-review kung para saan ang school book monitoring, um, feel free po to listen and yun, and learn na rin. Okay. So first we'll go over the agenda for today. So we will be walking you through the objectives ng school book monitoring. So we will also be discussing components ng or reviewing, actually hindi na discuss kasi parang hindi na bago, components of school book monitoring. And para po sa mga newly hired faculty, we'll have a walkthrough of the items in the monitoring tool. And kung nanood po kayo kanina ng exemption scheme, para ma-encourage po ang lahat na pagandahin pa yung ating mga school book modules, we'll also discuss how it is done or how are the faculty being accepted for monitoring. Okay. So without further ado, without further delay, let's have the discussion. So first, we'll have the discussion o objective ng school book monitoring. So let me present to you. Next slide, please, Jessa. Thank you. Si Ma'am Jess po ang nagko-control ng presentation. Okay. So the CDLM monitoring is plays a central role in ensuring compliance with the conduct of blended learning guidelines. So may I ask Jessa to sa mga wala pong copy ng CBL guidelines natin, Jess, upload na lang po. O i-upload na lang sa GC yung copy ng CBL guidelines.
Ano?
Okay. Para po ma-review. Pero dun sa mga hindi pa nakaka-encounter ng CBL guidelines.
Pasok niya ako dito sa meeting room. Asan kaya ang ano nito? Hanapin ko
I encourage you to browse over yung mga conduct of blended learning guidelines para po ma-refresh po kayo dun sa mga guidelines natin sa school book. Okay? And sa blended learning. Okay. So the monitoring unit is responsible for overseeing the compliance. So overseeing lang po. Hindi naman kami nagpupulis or something. Okay? So wala pong ganun. Okay? So our work includes faculty performance in areas of module delivery and assessment. So yun po yung chine-check namin. Tatlong basic na ano lang naman. And yung dalawang importante doon, yung module delivery and yung assessment practices. Okay? Collect and analyze data, provide constructive feedback. So feel free po na kapag once na na-receive ninyo po yung result ng monitoring, and you have questions, feel free to contact us kung meron po kayong questions so we can explain po bakit ganun yung result ng monitoring o ng monitoring result. Okay? And also facilitate communication, enforce policies, and contribute to continuous improvement efforts to enhance the overall effectiveness of blended learning within the school. Okay. So a copy of the CBL guidelines will be uploaded later. If you wish to have a copy, meron din naman po kaming copy. I think sa school book po, meron ding link para sa if you want to have a copy ng CBL guidelines. So next slide. Allow me to present the CBL. This one is the guideline for conduct. Ito po yung document na makikita nyo if you click on the link sa school book sa dashboard po natin. Next slide, Jess. Okay. And allow me to present the monitoring unit for the academic year of 2025-2026. So yours truly is the monitoring supervisor. With me are Miss Chona Bandelaria and Miss Rowena Herradura, our SB monitoring specialist. And our ever-efficient Miss Jessa Rania Angkangan, our monitoring support staff. Okay? So together, kapag po monitoring season, yan, medyo ano na, pagdating po ng weeks 5, 6, 7, mga ngalampag na po kami. Okay, next slide. Okay. So let's begin the discussion without any delay na. So the monitoring or the school book monitoring has three major components. Okay. First is the monitoring. Let's discuss the monitoring responsibilities of the monitoring unit and the department chairs. And the monitoring list, and of course, yung monitoring tool and the timeline that we follow during monitoring. So next, monitoring responsibilities. Next slide, please. Okay. So department chairs provide the monitoring unit with updated monitoring list and also receive result for formative action. So importante po yung role ng mga department chair dahil sila po yung parang sila po yung enabling body ng monitoring. Okay? The CDLM monitoring unit conducts the actual monitoring using the approved tool and then prepares the report for every monitoring phase. And the report is then submitted to the department chair for formative actions. Next slide, please. And then the monitoring list is also an essential part ng monitoring. This is the list of courses containing all courses assigned to the faculty, organized per department. This list specifies who will be monitored and what courses they handled. So at this point, before uh, we give the link to the department secretaries and the department chairs, inilalabas o itinatanggal na po namin yung mga courses that are not for monitoring or yung exempted for monitoring. And those exempted for monitoring are laboratory classes, yung mga fully on-site classes, laboratory courses, field work, lecture with lab components, okay, thesis to internship, and tutorial sessions. So those which utilizes or use on-site modality or face-to-face modality are not used for monitoring. Obvious naman po kasi school book monitoring is for blended courses. Okay. And then, ayun po. Usually, before the monitoring, during the preparation for monitoring, mga week 5 o next week po, mangangalampag na kami, we will send out link for the monitoring list for us for the department secretary to check kung tama po yung nasa monitoring list or kung may changes po sa faculty loading or ano pa ba. O yung status din po, paki-check if naging full-time na po yung part-time or mga ganun po. Okay. Next slide po. And the monitoring tool, ito po yung pinaka-importante. Well, siguro equally important hindi naman yung yung dalawang component. Pero this one, hindi po kami makakapag-monitor kung wala yung monitoring tool. Okay? So, importante din po talaga. So, monitoring tool and timeline. So, the monitoring tool is a committee-approved monitoring tool aligned with CBL guidelines. It was developed by the CBL committee. Okay? And then it has two phases, the preliminary phase and the culminating phase. Preliminary phase is done during week 7 to 9, and culminating phase is done during for final term during weeks 16 to 18. Next po. The monitoring is done obviously for SB-CBL compliance for blended and fully online classes. The scoring is binary, 1 for compliant and 0 for non-compliant. Parang ano lang siya, yes or no. Nag-follow ba ng ganitong guideline? Yes or no. So 1 or 0. Okay. And the average score is then of each item is then taken. And to get the total to get the individual score of each faculty, the total average score is then divided by the highest possible score multiplied by 100 so that you'll get the percentage SB utilization. And yun yung nare-receive ninyo at the end of the term as your percentage SB utilization. And dun din binibase yung award, yung reward system ng monitoring exemption. Okay? And then, at the end of the term, the department average is determined and submitted to the respective department chairs for formative action. And then a copy of the monitoring tool, okay, is being shared sa GC. If you want to have a copy, pwede po ninyong i-download. Okay? So, ito po yung mga monitoring items. Gusto nyo ba akong sabayan? Intayin ba natin ang monitoring tool na mai-upload? Na-upload na ba? Ayan. Ayan. O, sundan niyo po ako sa pagre-review. So, sa preliminary phase, you have 11 items. Okay? We check the syllabus upload, gradebook configuration, midterm modules. So, that includes yung mga parts or important parts lang naman. Yung, shall we say, minimum requirement. Pero pwede namang mag-exceed kung gusto nyo pa. Like, pwede naman pong i-level up pa. Pero ito po yung minimum requirements na hinahanap sa CIVIL guidelines. So, syempre, being in Lasal, yung prayer and gospel is important. Is an important section ng module. Also, yung learning outcomes. And of course, a module cannot be a module kung wala yung lesson content. Okay? So, yung tatlong importanteng sections lang po ng module ang chine-check. Pero pwede naman po ninyong pagandahin pa kung meron pang ile-level up yung modules ninyo. And assessments and other assessment features such as rubrics. So, dito rin po yung number o yung frequency of assessments and assessments like enabling assessments and class participation. And then, of course, yung use of rubric for non-quiz or non-discrete type of assessment. Okay? And this is ensure consistency throughout the term dahil sa preliminary phase, we will be checking the midterm module. In the final phase, culminating phase, next slide please. Halos same po yung content, pero it's focused on the final term modules. Okay? Pero lang po nadagdag yung assessment for midterm period were graded by the teacher. Pero syempre to ensure transparency kasi ito po yung gradebook po ang isa sa magandang medium para makita ng mga students yung progress nila, yung student progress. Mas maganda pong i-upload din pa natin o i-update natin yung grade sa gradebook para nakikita nila midterm ba bumagsak ako, kailangan ko ba mag-aral mabuti o mag-double effort para mahila yung failing marks ng midterm, etc. Okay? So, assessment from midterm period were graded. So, chine-check po yun sa culminating phase. Okay? So, ayan. A copy of monitoring tool is already uploaded. I think. Uploaded na po, no? Ayan. Feel free to browse through it. And then kung meron po kayong question or clarification, pwede po kayong magtanong later on. Pero after this, we'll have a walkthrough ng monitoring tool item. Let us discuss each item para po mas malinawan kayong lahat. Okay? So, next slide, please. Let's have a quick walkthrough of the different items of the monitoring tool. So, ito po yung content ng walkthrough. The syllabus upload, midterm, gradebook configuration, midterm modules, assessments, frequency of and type of assessments, assessment weights, and midterm grading completion, and final term modules upload. Next slide. Item 1 of the monitoring tool is about the syllabus. So, item 1 states that the faculty are required to upload the syllabus in PDF format under the syllabus tab. Okay? This document serves as foundation for the course. So, it ensures accessibility and update of the syllabus is very important. Okay? So, the syllabus must be in syllabus tab. Okay? Not in the instruction or not in the module section. Okay? But meron pong designated place sa school book kung saan mas magandang at makikita agad ng students or accessible agad sa students yung syllabus. Kindly use the syllabus tab. Okay? It must be in PDF, not not in DocX, neither in Excel. Okay? Mas maganda po Word siya tapos naka PDF format.
Successful na siya, di ba? Wait lang. Tatlo yun, di ba? Yun isa si...
Opo. Kung meron pong question, you can type it sa chat po. You can raise your questions and write it sa chat na lang po. Okay po. So it must be current. So kindly follow the guidelines for the syllabus format ng syllabus committee, ng curriculum and syllabus committee. Okay? Kindly ensure na meron pong date kasi doon po kami tumitingin kung siya ay current. Okay? So hinahanap for this semester, hahanapin po namin yung first semester academic year or SY 2025-2026 sa heading. Kapag po wala doon sa heading, magdadalawang isip na kami kung ano ba to, current ba to o hindi. Baka po masiro siya kapag hindi siya current or kapag old syllabus siya. So please update the syllabus. Do not upload an old one. Okay. The syllabus will be considered valid and official if it is duly signed by the department chair and the college dean. For now po, for the benefit of accessibility lang po siguro ng content para sa mga students, pwede po sigurong pansamantala, wala pang pirma. Pero sana po sa start ng monitoring sa week 7, napalitan na po yung mga syllabus na wala pang sign. Okay? And kindly update po yung mga signatures, mga signatories. It should be signed by the dean and the department chair. Okay po. Mas maganda din po kung instead of file link, ano na siya, naka-iframe. So marami naman pong iframe generator sa site. Also if mas maganda po kasi na pag-open ng syllabus tab, kita na po agad yung content ng syllabus kaysa yung kapag po kasi file link lang yung naka-upload, i-click pa yun ng mga estudyante and then mada-download pa nila yung file. Bagay maganda rin naman po na i-download nila yung file. Pero yun nga, parang two clicks pa bago nila ma-access yung content. Kasi pagka-download, click the file bago nila mabasa. And then, kung naka-iframe na po, mas maganda. Kasi pag open ng syllabus tab, eto na agad yung content. Kitang-kita na ng mga estudyante. Okay po? So, that's item 1. Okay. Item 2 po, the gradebook configuration. So, the gradebook configuration can be accessed via admin assessment grading. So, what should be in the assessment categories are the assessments that are indicated in the syllabus. Example, SA is 30%. So, dapat po, ang makita dun sa SA or summative assessment, 30%. Okay? May ano po dito na, okay lang po siguro kung halimbawa, kasi ang mandatory, ang required lang naman po sa CBL ay summative assessment, enabling assessment, at saka class participation. But if you wish na halimbawa po, yung enabling assessment may dalawa pang subcategories like long quiz and short quiz. Mas okay po na kung nakalagay sa syllabus na merong short quiz and long quiz at magkaiba yung percentage assignment nila, mas maganda po na naka-indicate din yon sa assessment category. Example, yung class participation po. Class participation is 15%. Pero, naglagay po sa syllabus ng attendance, which is 5%, and class recitation, seat work, word works, etc., which is 10%. Kindly indicate that in the gradebook configuration. Para po, kapag kinompute ng gradebook, kasi automatic po yan parang real time. Pagka-encode ninyo ng mga assessment scores, makikita na agad ng estudyante kung ano yung grade nila. Okay? Makikita po na nandun po naka-configure na doon na 5% is allotted for CP attendance and 10% is allotted to CP on-site, online, recitation, seat work, word work, etc. Okay. So, ganun din po, kung magkakaroon ng dalawang enabling assessment like short quiz and long quiz at mas malaki yung gusto nyong ilagay na weight sa long quiz, ilalagay niyo po. Pero dapat po nakalagay muna sa syllabus kasi yung syllabus po ang magiging basis namin. So, we compare the gradebook configuration with the syllabus na i-upload po ninyo. So, dapat po pareho yon for transparency din po kasi syempre, yun ang alam ng estudyante ng kung paano i-co-compute yung grade nila. So, dapat po, yun yung makita nila sa school book. Okay? And of course, 50% midterm and final term. Okay. Next po. Okay. And module parts and midterm and final term module. So according to the CBL guidelines, we can upload up to 6 modules per term or during midterm and another 6 modules during final term. Pero kung sobra-sobra naman po yung 6, pwede rin po namang minimum of 2 as long as it is indicated in the syllabus. So kung ang syllabus po ninyo nakalagay po ay 4 modules lang for midterm and then 5 modules for final term or vice versa, 5 modules for midterm and 4 modules for final term, it should follow the school book module should follow what is indicated in the syllabus. Pagbibilang po ng mga modules, yung mga modules that contains only assessment, katulad ng yung iba po kasing mga we understand yung syempre kanya-kanya pong style ng paggawa ng school book courses. Yung iba po inihihiwala yung mga activities na extracurricular like say Lasallian Week tapos meron siyang separate na module kasi may Lasallian Week activity and summative assessment or kaya enabling assessment, hindi po siya counted as module kasi assessment at saka activity lang ang laman. Ang counted po na module, yung merong module content na prayer, na learning outcomes, at saka syempre yung lesson content. Saka yun po. Okay? So lesson proper and activities. So speaking of the module content, okay, so lesson modules must include gospel, learning outcomes, and lesson proper and activities. So that's item 4 and 13. Inclusion of, next slide, please. That's item 4 and 13, inclusion of gospel, prayer or gospel, okay, which is included as a section ng module in final term or midterm. Okay. Si Sir Roland po before, gumawa na ng template for gospel. Tapos may link po siya na nakalink sa isang site that provides gospel. I think sa Vatican po yata yung link niya. You can also have a copy of that template kung gusto niyo po. Alam ko naka-public po yung template niya. Kung okay po yun sa inyo. Or you can have your own. Pwede rin po kayong halimbawa may favorite gospel po kayo may favorite book of gospel po kayo na gustong i-present sa mga estudyante or pwede pong hintayin niyo rin yung gospel na binibigay ng campus ministry. Alam ko every morning po meron silang ganun. So, it's up to you kung paano niyo po ipe-present yung gospel as long as meron po na gospel. Huwag naman blank. Okay? Next slide po. Items 5 and 14 of our monitoring tool is the lesson learning outcomes. So every module should clearly state the intended learning outcomes. So this helps the students understand the purpose of each lesson. So pwede naman pong shortcut kung ano po yung nasa syllabus na CLO at saka LOs, TLOs, pwede pong ilagay dito. And then, syempre, lagyan din po ng module objective. Pero TLO and TLO is enough na eh. Pero kung may module objective, mas maganda po kasi yun. Discussion of what to expect dun sa module na yon. Okay? Next slide po. And then, ang pinaka-importante dun sa tatlo, hindi siya tatawaging module kung wala pong lesson. Okay, so the lesson proper and activities. So the module must contain lesson proper section, complete with handouts or full text articles, okay, and instructional videos if it's applicable. So learning activities should also be included here to reinforce student engagement and mastery. Let us not be satisfied with mediocre practice na uploading PDF version of our PPTX tapos yun na. alam ko mas may ile-level up pa po yung mga module natin. So, try po natin na ano, maging mas creative na i-present yung lesson natin in in our school book module. So reminder po to keep our modules updated. Kung meron po kayong ginamit last year na mga examples na uh, since 2022 pa, okay. Pwede pong baka po may bago ng article na mas current. Okay. Ay update po natin yung mga modules natin. Next po. Next slide. Ayan. This is an example po of a module na merong embedded video. I think this is in biology. O, yun. Credit po sa hiniraman namin ng ng lesson. Okay. Okay, taxonomy. Credit po kay taxonomy. And then, module content and parts. So, kindly update the lesson proper sections. Okay. And may I remind you, hindi naman po nananakot, pero may I remind you of the CBL guidelines ng 6.4.7. Okay. Failure to upload appropriate content to the lesson part of the school book module within the specified time frame. Ang nakalagay po sa guidelines ay 1 week before the lesson, the module must be uploaded already. So, yun yung time frame. Will be considered an absence from the scheduled asynchronous class. So, faculty members concerned will be required to make up for their absences by writing the missed module. Faculty members who fail to comply with this provision will be reported to the HRMO for purposes of salary deduction. Pero wala naman po nangyaring ganong case before kasi very good naman po tayong lahat. So, sana po, very good pa rin po tayo ngayong school year na to. Okay. Next slide po. Okay, so gradebook configuration. Ay, may nangyari ba ganun? May nag-wow react. Okay, so next slide po. So, gradebook configuration. So, let's move forward sa mga items related to assessment. So, frequency, the gradebook configuration. So, item 7/17, midterm and final term. Assessment weights for both midterm and final terms must match what is written in the syllabus. So this is to ensure fairness and alignment with the syllabus and the course policy. So makikita naman po that if the gradebook is properly configured and all the assessments uploaded were with categories, like say ano yung mga required categories, like in our previous example merong CP attendance, CP recitation on-site. Basta po merong naka-upload na corresponding to each category, magiging tama po yung percentage period at magtatali siya doon sa grading system na nasa syllabus. At yun po yung tinitingnan namin dyan. Dapat po kung ano yung nakasalagay sa syllabus, like say, hanapin namin, 5% ba yung attendance? Oh yes, 5%. Long test, 30%. So yung total long test po ba, enabling, so dalawa po yung long exam niya. So 15, that's total of 30%. So yun po ang tinitingnan namin doon. So dapat po align yung gradebook configuration sa kung ano yung nakalagay sa course syllabus. Ayan po, malinaw po yun. Okay, next slide po. Okay. Then, frequency of assessments. So, there shouldn't be more than 2 enabling assessment given in each week. Kasi imagine niyo po kung kayo yung estudyante, tapos lahat ng faculty, say, halimbawa, minimum, naka-minimum na load siya, lima lang yung in-enroll niya na class. Tapos lahat po tayo magbibigay sa kanya ng assessment na tigda-2 sa kada linggo. 10 assessment agad yun sa isang linggo. Baka hindi na po siya natutulog. Mga outcome-based pa naman yung ibang mga assessment. Buti kung quiz lang, no? Na that day tapos na. Paano po yung mga project? So, yun po ang gustong gustong i-minimize ng CBL guidelines na wag pong ma-overload yung mga students natin with too much assessment within a week. Okay na po siguro yung paisa-isang assessment per subject, carry na po siguro yung mga estudyante natin. Okay. So, that's item 8 and 18. Item 9, minimum and maximum assessment. So there must be 3 to 5 enabling assessment per term. Okay? Per midterm and final term. Okay po. Dito po, 3 to 5 ba? Tama. 5 enabling assessment. So ito po, pasado po siya kasi meron siyang 3 enabling assessment. Okay po. Ay, 4 pala. 4 na enabling assessment. Okay, so pasok. Okay. So, frequency lang naman po yan. And then, next slide po. Ganun din po sa class participation. 5 graded class participation activities. So, 5 graded class participation. Kasi po may mga ibang professor or faculty na nagbibigay ng formative assessment. Ang tawag dito, class participation pero extra credit. Hindi po yun counted. So mga assessments po that is although categorized as enabling assessment o kaya class participation pero hindi siya normal grading but instead extra credit, it is given as extra credit, hindi po counted. Pero yung mga graded class participation, yun po yung binibilang. So here, pasok naman po siya. Siguro ito po hindi naman sinasabing hindi naman sinasabing minimum of 1, wag lang po siguro mag-e-exceed ng 5 kasi sobra naman po siguro yung 5 class participation activities in a term. Okay, next slide po. And another important assessment feature is the rubric. So for non-quiz, non-discrete type of assessment, the rubric must be provided. So in this example, sa slide po, ayan po yung rubric niya. Mas detailed po, mas maganda. Pero kung kung nagkakaintindihan naman po kayo ng estudyante, kasi ang rubric will serve as a way para po malaman ng mga students how they will be graded. So makikita po ng mga estudyante yung criteria for your grading. So kung nagkakaintindihan naman po kayo ng mga students niyo dun sa rubric na i-present niyo, okay din lang po. Pero ang mas best practice po, mas detailed na rubric, mas maganda. Okay? So we encourage all faculty to use the rubric tab kasi level up na tayo. Gamitin na po natin yung features na rubric tab. Pero of course, writing the rubric in the instruction is still allowed kasi meron po pa rin po namang mga faculty that are comfortable na gamitin yung instruction section for rubric. Pero sa tingin ko po mas maganda po na i-enjoy natin yung benefit ng convenience ng paggamit ng rubric. At sa palagay ko parang mas convenient na may rubric kasi madali po siyang gradean kapag ganun. Well, case to case basis po. Depende siguro sa faculty on how they practice yung pag-grade ng rubric. Pero I find it convenient kapag meron pong rubric sa pag-grade. Okay, so for the benefit of our students, we also encourage to upload the rubric for offline and on-site assessment that requires online submission. Next slide, please. Kasi sa online submission po, pag offline submission po, ang sinasabi ko, pag on-site po yung quiz or face-to-face yung quiz, we encourage that you use yung type of assessment that is offline. Yung pong parang wifi na na symbol ng icon, that's offline assessment. Pag po offline assessment, we don't usually look for rubric anymore because we assume that the instructions for grading is already given face-to-face or on-site. Okay? Pero kung meron po kayo, kung i-require nyo po ng online submission, like say instead of using that, ang gagamitin nyo po ay essay o kaya Dropbox, and that requires online submission, mas maganda pa rin po na merong rubric kasi merong online submission. Yun nga po. Kasi siya, considered siya na online module na or online assessment na kasi merong online submission. Okay po. Next slide. Uy, patapos na. And last po, all assessments during midterm period must be graded by the teacher. So, dito po namin nakikita yung column kung graded siya o hindi. So, kapag po yung mga assessments ay walang nakalagay na number of students, ibig sabihin all assessments are graded. Parang ganon. Okay po. Or walang pencil mark. Kasi po pag may pencil icon, that means required pa rin na mag-encode ng grade. O merong item na nire-require na mag-encode ng grade. So, next slide. Ang bilis lang pala. Okay. So, exemption scheme. So, this is our way of encouraging the faculty para po, well, sana po in 10 years or 5 years from now, hindi na kailangan ng monitoring. Kasi lahat tayo practicing na talaga ng good practice or best practice ng school book module. Okay? So, sa exemption scheme, we have the dark green and green faculty. Ang target po kasi ng CDLM ay lahat ng faculty maka-reach ng 80% SB utilization. So, having reached that, you're considered a green faculty already. Special mention po, yung mga nag-exceed beyond the expectation. Yung pong naka 100% ng SB utilization, and we call them dark green faculty. Yun po. And then as a reward or as a way of encouraging those faculty, naglagay po kami ng exemption scheme. Maliit na bagay lang naman po kung tutuusin kasi since nasa blood na nila yung pag-practice o yung best practice ng sa school book, hindi nila kailangan yung reward kasi nga maganda na yung yung mga module nila. Pero well, this is our way of saying na we appreciate you po. Okay? So, dark green faculty will have who have achieved 100% score for 2 consecutive semester and having completed the level 5 ng SB training are exempted for the whole year, for the whole academic year of SB monitoring. So lahat po ng mga for monitoring na load niyo, it is already assumed na 100% yung SB utilization. And that's our way of thanking you for yung year na performance. Okay po. And those who achieve at least 80% are partially monitored. 50% plus 1. So, plus 1 na kalahati po and mahigit na kalahati ng mga courses nyo. So, kung meron po kayong for monitoring na 5 o 6 classes, ang imo-monitor lang, isi-select lang po namin yung 4 dun sa 6, so 4 out of 6 classes ang imo-monitor for this school year sa mga green faculty. Okay? And of course, yung po mga red faculty na hindi po pinalad na maka-achieve ng 80% or having reached the target will be monitored as usual. Okay? And last slide. I think that's it. Kung wala na po kayong tanong, that ends my presentation po. Jessa.
Ayan, thank you po. Thank you so much, Mama Lu, for your informative insight. Ngayon po, sorry po dahil hindi po enable ang aming chat box. Pasensya na po. Mag-raise ng hand na lang po tayo para po sa question. Makakasama pa rin po natin dito si Mama Lu. Ayan. Unahin muna po natin si Sir Herbert Ulpiao. Sir, ano pong question niya po? Sir Herbert. Sige po. Mabalikan na lang po natin Sir Herbert. Baka po humina ang kanyang internet. Sunod po natin si Sir John. Ano question niyo po, Sir John?
Hello, good day po. Ask ko lang po kasi may minention po kanina sa monitoring list na excluded from the monitoring are the following: fully on-site, lab classes and lectures with a laboratory component. Ask ko lang po, paano po ibig sabihin ng lectures with lab component? Kasi meron po akong 2 courses na lecture po siya in lab. Ganun po ba yun o iba po ba siya?
To answer that po, meron po kasing mga courses na halimbawa po, yung close to my heart, chemistry. Kaya meron pong chemistry lecture, tapos meron pong separate na chemistry lab. Okay? Yun po, for monitoring yung lecture, pero yung laboratory po, hindi po for monitoring kasi yung lab, 100% on-site po yun. Pero
Mm.
meron po kasi mga classes na, yun po okay po yun kasi L, ano ba, lecture, LEC at saka
Mm.
LAB. Malinaw po yun. Meron po kasing mga courses na integrated yung laboratory nila, yung laboratory activity, dun sa mismong lecture. Yun po yung mga lecture with lab component. And usually, ang course code po nun, ending with LC. Yun po yung
Ah.
yun po yung not for monitoring.
Okay, noted po. So, bali po kapag, for example, LA po siya, hindi po for monitoring, pero kung
Apo.
lecture for monitoring,
Apo. Yes po, sir.
kahit separate po sila.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Sorry, one more po. Maganda po kasing minention niyo po kanina regarding dun sa may iframe for the PDF. Pero
Mhm.
paano po ba may implement yon? Pwede po bang mag-demo, sorry, para at least yung mga medyo hindi techy dito ay ma-upload din po namin yung PDF as iframe. Para maganda po siya, no? Talagang
Opo.
hindi na nila kailangan i-download. Diretso na siya dun mismo.
Opo. Pwede po kayo po mag-visit sa amin dito sa office sa sa CDLM, and we can assist you po kung paano i-set up yung iframe. Madali lang po siya.
Andun din po ba siya mismo sa editor
Opo.
po ba?
Opo, nandun sa sa code, anong tawag doon? Sa editor po ng syllabus. Anong tawag doon, ma'am? May ine-edit po doon sa code. And then meron po palang mga iframe generator na sila na mismo yung nagge-generate ng codes tapos ipi-paste na lang po doon sa instruction ng syllabus.
Okay, sige po. Yun po ba yung source code? Sorry.
Yes po, yun. Thank you, sir, para
Okay.
sa reminder. Yung source code po, ine-edit po doon sa source code.
Okay. Sige po, noted. Thank you so much. Kung ganun po, okay na po. Thank you.
Thank you po, Sir Jan.
Welcome
Next po
po.
natin si Ma'am Bea po. Miss Bea.
Hello, yes. Can you hear me clearly?
Apo. Yes po.
Yes. Question lang. Because I remember you were discussing earlier na we will be uploading yung modules na for, I understand it's for the asynchronous classes, right? So ang next question ko is, for the modules na will be discussed during the days na face-to-face yung mga students, do I need to upload the said modules also in the system, or
Nawala si ma'am. Pero nag-gets ko po yung yung hint niya. Ang chine-check po ng monitoring is asynchronous module. Pero mas best practice pa rin po yung kung ano yung module kasi po siya minsan po ang discussion ay on-site pero yung assessments o kaya yung mga reinforcement activity is done online. So mas maganda po yung entire module both on-site at saka online nasa school book din po para at least may mare-review yung mga students, like say may mare-review po yung mga students dun sa previous na discussion done on-site. That's the best practice. Pero kung as per monitoring po ang pinag-uusapan, ang chine-check po namin asynchronous modules po. Pero sabi ko nga pwede naman pong mag-level up, mas maganda pa rin po yung best practice yung i-practice.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Welcome
Sir
po.
Herbert.
Good afternoon.
Ayan, sir. Apo.
Ayan. Nakamute pala kanina. Ma'am, tanong ko lang kasi na-experience ko doon sa isa kong subject. Kasi bago lang akong gumagawa ng mga module. Tsaka bago din lang ako talaga sa school book. Napansin ko nung ako'y mag-import-export doon sa isang section, ay na-erase ko agad yung nandun na dati kasi mayroon na akong nagdag na isang module. So, pwede pa tayong mag-import ng isang module lang. Halimbawa, yung sa module 4, ilalagay ko rin sa kabila na the same different section, the same subject. Pwede ba yung ganun? Or talagang lahat ay makikerry yung lahat sa import-export, lahat ng modules na in-adjust?
Actually, sir, pwede po copy module. Meron
Kahit
pong
isang
opo.
module lang. Kasi ang nangyari ay na-copy ko lahat tapos na-erase ko yung nandun na talaga sa kabilang section. Nawala din yung mga nila, yung mga submission ng assessment na problema ako. At least babago pala na mga isang assessment lang yata yung nawala kaya pina-resubmit ko na lang sila. Pwede yung isang module lang yung i-copy?
I believe so, sir. Pwede pong, alam ko pero meron pong feature na pwede yung ganun, copy yung module po.
In a way siguro dadaan na
Pwede
lang ako
pong,
dyan para
daanan po kayo,
daanan ako dyan
visit
kasi
us po
nawala yung lahat
para
sabi ko ano
ma-assist po
nangyari
namin
ano
kayo.
nangyari doon. Anyway, thank you.
Ang training and support team po ay willing na mag-assist. Hi, Pat.
Kasi ang nakita ko doon hassle naman kung lagi kong i-import lahat tapos
O pwede po,
magbabaklas
alam ko po may feature po na ganun.
na ganun.
Opo,
Sige.
I
Salamat.
understand po.
Ma'am, isa pa pala, ma'am. Ma'am?
Yes po.
Yes po.
Yes, of course, we are so strict with regard to our syllabus in
Mhm.
conformity sa ating mga assessment. Halimbawa, ma'am, talaga hindi na iwasan na kapag dagdag ka ng isang assessment na not indicated in the syllabus. Okay lang ba 'yun? Kasi along the discussion, bigla kami naisip magandang magkaroon ng may additional assessment based on our mga actual discussions and yet not indicated in the syllabus. Can I do that?
Ano naman po may freedom, may alam ko po may academic freedom pa rin. Pasok pa rin naman po doon as long as nasa guidelines po. Halimbawa, ang number of syllabus ay maximum na 5 enabling assessment. Kung pasok pa rin po doon, halimbawa 4 lang yung nasa syllabus and gusto niyo pong magdagdag ng isa pa and then okay naman po, it's within the guidelines. Baka pwede pong i-consider kasi para naman sa mga estudyante, I believe na yung mga assessments ay para din naman sa mga estudyante. Wag mo lang po sigurong mag-i-exceed sa 5 yung enabling assessment.
Yes, ma'am. Kasi minsan, siyempre, yung mga ibang syllabus ay created na ng department yon at wala kang magawa
Opo.
kasi signed na siya. And so
Opo.
happen along the way, kumbaga you realize na you can add something. So pwede
Mhm.
naman.
Opo. And may na-observe din po kami na halimbawa, sa syllabus po, etong topic na 'to yung assessment o ito yung title ng assessment. Pwede naman po yung i-modify like say may na-observe po kami na halimbawa kulang yung time, nagme-merge din po ng mga assessments and assessment contents para ma-address yung lack of time dahil sa maraming activities or mga class suspension. And it's understandable po. Basta as long as as long as pasok pa rin po dun sa guidelines. Wag pong mag-i-exceed or wag po namang wala halos ilagay na assessment.
Okay, thank you,
Yun
ma'am.
po.
Thank you.
If I may add lang po, siguro din po suggestion lang po Sir Herbert. If ever po meron naman po kasing ibang type of assessment. So kung gusto niyo po pwede po siyang non-graded kung baka gusto niyo lang malaman if and pwede din po siguro yung class participation para hindi siya mag-exceed dun sa enabling assessment. I think yung enabling assessment lang po yata yung hindi pwedeng mag-exceed ng 5. Pero baka pwede yung survey, mga ganon, or parang pop quiz lang para malaman if tama po ba, ma'am? Gano'n naman po, 'di ba? Pwede po siyang
Yung class participation din po may limit din po hanggang maximum of 5 din po siya. So pwede nga po 'yon, maglagay ng mga formative assessments para lang merong gagawin yung mga estudyante. But it's not graded. Pwede pong ilagay na extra credit pero hindi po siya full considered as full assessment.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you din, sir. Thank you, sir.
Ayan, may mga question pa po kayo? Mukhang wala na po. Kung meron po kayong mga question na maisip po, pwede po kayong tumawag sa local namin, 3280. And pwede naman po kayong mag-email sa cdlm@dlsud.edu.ph. At pwede rin naman po kayo at welcome na welcome po kayo pumunta dito sa aming opisina po. Ayan po, evaluation na po. Thank you so much po sa mga umattend. If may mga question po kayo, email na lang po kayo. Pakiscan na lang po. Tapos may link po tayo dito sa baba. Isasend ko na lang din po sa chat box. Tapos, mag-upload na lang din po kami ng record nitong session na to para pwede po inyong balikan kung gusto niyo pong balikan or may mga katanungan din po kayo. Thank you. Let us pray the Lasallian prayer. I will continue, O my God, to do all my actions for the love of you. Saint John Baptist de La Salle, pray for us. Leave Jesus in our hearts forever.
Forever.
Thank you po.
This initiative rewards faculty members for their significant engagement with the schoolbook. Dark green faculty. Faculty with sulfur monoboride utilization scores of went for 2 consecutive semesters and have achieved level 5 in the SB training path. These faculty are automatically exempted from monitoring for the next school year, assuming a 100B utilization score. Green faculty. Faculty with sulfur monoboride utilization scores not lower than 8 for 2 consecutive semesters and who have achieved level 5 in the SB training path. Green faculty will be monitored in 50% plus one of their classes, selected randomly. Can you share your best practice that contributed to being recognized as part of the Green faculty?
For me, one of the things that really helped was making sure that my school book page is inviting and organized. I always think about how my students will see it. So the lesson presentations are clear, engaging, and easy to follow. Ako kasi, I like adding videos, yung mga resources that make the content come alive and encourage my students to explore more. I also try to be consistent in giving feedback and responding kaagad ako sa mga questions nila because I know how important it is for students to feel supported. I really think that combining that organization, responsiveness, and creativity really made a difference. Naniniwala ako that when students feel that their learning space is well prepared and that their professor is approachable and always available, they become more motivated to participate. So, being a green for me is not just about meeting requirements for preparing the school book, pero it's all about a positive learning experience where my students can thrive and learn more. Thank you.
Part of our practice, part of our daily routine to regularly check, no, and upload materials and improve our services not only on-site but also through school book.